Hi, everybody. Welcome back to my channel. This is Jay Horn, your Christian life and relationship coach. And today I wanted to talk about I deal with burnout as a Christian. So before we get into my story, I wanted to give a definition of burnout. So burnout is a state or physical, emotional, or mental exhaustion caused by prolonged stress, often linked to work or caregiving responsibilities. So that is definitely me. It says burnout is characterized by physical, emotional, or mental exhaustion, accompanied by decreased motivation, lower performance, and a negative attitude towards oneself and others. And I was really trying to figure out like why I did have this quick like I start to get agitated really easy, and I was trying to figure out why things like the things that I did do excuse me, the things that I did do, because I am always constantly doing something. Excuse me, the things that I did do, I kind of really didn't care about doing it, and God had put so much in my heart to do. And I'm trying to read another part that literally kind of characterizes really well. It says that it's not a medical condition, and it can be tough to describe. In fact, you may not realize you've hit burnout until you cross the line between really tired and too exhausted to function. And if you're the kind of person who likes to stay busy, you might not even notice that when you're doing too much. So, oh my goodness, that was like me all the time. Like literally, I stay busy. It's not because I want to be busy. It's because that's where my life is at this point. And so I can say that I'm definitely in burnout. And I literally don't have a day off. I make sure I do have self-care. I make sure that I'm eating right, but circumstances come about. And so I literally have been in survival mode. I literally can say like all my life. I could say like literally like each part of my life, I've always just been trying to survive, trying to make it in this world, which is one thing I see about everybody. But I can say that I was always under stress and didn't have the word for it because it was so normal to me to be under this stress. But it really hit hard. I can say at least 5 years ago, things changed. We are in 2026. um, so when my mom died, like she was part of my stress too, but when she died, she was also the mother figure in this family. So like she literally was still like the babysitter to like my nieces and nephews, the go-to person if you need to talk. So we didn't have that person. And then also losing a lot of people like after her, which was my grandfather. Then my cousin, close cousin to me, is in a vegetative state, but hoping for his becoming awake. Then my auntie on my father's side, and then my nephew, which that one literally did break me, but I talked about that. And so I really didn't deal with it. I just like kept on going because in my family, we don't really process our emotions. We just kind of like go about life because life still goes on. And not until God literally was like, no, Jay, I'm going to sit you down and we're going to process it. So I believe that God allowed me to experience this burnout so he can use it as healing. So one of the things that God's been doing is putting me through a lot of deliverance, and he has me in dealing with my trauma, like childhood trauma, and then the trauma just in general of life. And then he has also been putting me like through this process of healing my wounds. And let me tell you guys something. I did not know how not dealing with your wounds can definitely have a part of your I want to say authority in the spiritual world. If you know, then you know. So one of the things that I was asking the Lord and telling the Lord, still say to today, I'll be like, Lord, I'm just so tired. I just can't seem to feel peace. And mind you, peace comes from the Lord, but I just couldn't feel it because I felt like something is always happening. And something is technically right now, June 7th, 2026, something is going on that's really, really stressful. I became an instant auntie mom of 3.5. So I'm off and on with my niece, who is 8 months. I call her my birthday twin because she came on my birthday. But I'm taking care of my nieces and nephews or my sister, and the age ranges that I'm taking care of her kids are 13 to 8 months. So there is so with that, it's different personalities and different ways to parent. And I have never been a full-time auntie mom. Like literally, like having to factor in work and then taking care of kids. And mind you, I think I told you that my dad had a stroke, so I do also help with him as well. So it's like I am a full-time caretaker. I also work beyond being a life coach, but I have also put my life coach business on pause just because God told me to. And he is giving me lots of content or an education on how to help people in a way that he wants me to help. So I'm okay with putting that on pause. But my other job is a crisis counselor. So I'm also dealing with other people's problems and emotions and taking that burden on. I used to take it with me, like hearing people's situations and I'm like, oh, this is terrible. But now I kind of know how to compress my work day. But having kids, my routine is just not the same. And my self-care, having kids around, is not the same either. Like, I can tell you that my fitness, I'm trying to stay consistent because I'm so stressed and so overwhelmed constantly. I don't have, and not to add, I'm not introvert. I don't have that recharge moment. Like I said, with my other job, I was decompress, or with my job, I could decompress. So I would like go on a walk, listen to music, stretch and all that stuff. Don't have that time. I have to take care of children when I get off of work. And so I was talking to the Lord about this, and I was just like, Lord, I'm feeling very overwhelmed. You want to know what he said to do? He said to give it to him. And I was like, yes, Lord, I understand. You want me to put all my cares. And that could be found in Matthew 11:28 through 30, which I'll be reading. It says, come to me, all who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest. And I wanted to know how God was going to give me this rest because the situation at hand calls for me to be there. It's not like I can just like give my lovely nieces and nephews to someone else. I am the caretaker for right now. And what he meant by that was I come to him in prayer each day asking for strength to get through this day. So each prayer is different, but I realized that when I was at her place taking care of the children, I did not have time where I woke up and did my daily prayers and like gave the day to the Lord. I was just like, okay, I woke up, did a basic prayer, and then went about my auntie duties, right? But when I'm here at my home, which I brought the kids back to meet with me, I'm able to go to a little bit of me waking up and having my prayer and knowing, like, created a routine. So when I was with them in their house, I didn't have a routine. I was just going by their routine. And now that they're with me, I created just a bit of a routine that works for me, but still I'm feeling a bit overwhelmed. So another verse that helps with this is Isaiah 40:39-31. He says, he gives strength to the weary, increase the power of the weak. Those who hope in the Lord will renew their strength. So I literally ask the Lord each day in my prayer, I'm like, Lord, I need the strength to get me through today. Like, how am I going to handle this? How am I going to get through today? And let me tell you guys, when I start doing that, I literally was like, I'm getting it done. Like, I'm literally getting it done without going insane or feeling burnt out to where I want to quit. There are moments where I do actually have, like, for example, if I take them to the park or something, that's times where I can really like do kind of my work, the work that I like to do, but I can't because I'm so like observing, like, looking out for the kids, so I can't truly rest. But those are moments where I do talk to the Lord. Maybe watch a little YouTube. But I still don't get like that alone me time. He says in Corinthians 12:9, my grace is significant for you, for my power is made perfect in weakness. So in my weakness, God is made strong. And I can say that is just definitely not a lie. Like, I'm just like, how, like, I literally say to myself, and even my other sister, I'm like, I don't know how I'm doing this, because literally the type of person I am, the burden that has been placed upon me, I could tell you that it's nothing but God. It is nothing but God. In Philippians 4:6-7, it says, do not be anxious about anything, and the peace of God will guard your heart and your minds in Jesus Christ. So one of the things that I do become anxious because I get a little anxiety is I always say to myself, how am I going to get this done? Like, literally, I kind of like stress about like all the expectations that's on me. Like the kids really do like come to me for a lot, right? Like things they can do on their own, but I kind of feel sorry for them, so I do it for them. But it's just burden of like always someone needing something from me. So it's like always being taking everything. And one in particular niece is a extrovert. And if you guys know what an extrovert is, that means that they have to always be around people, which means for me, it's like, love the girl. She's a precious one, but she has to be literally around people and touch. And like for me, I love her, but she's always touching me and in the space. And like, I'm okay with that if I'm recharged. But again, I say that I don't have I don't have time for myself to be like, okay, let me recharge. Thankfully, I'm able to get my like gym schedule is off. Like, I was consistent with certain days, and now that's off. And I also know, I'm aware that I have, like, life happens and I have to change my schedule, but also I'm the type of person who likes routine, and likes to stay into a schedule, but everything has changed because I have been put in this situation. So for me, how I deal with stress or burnout as a Christian is literally through prayer, through asking God to get me through today, asking God to help me to handle the children and how that He wants me to come off as them, because I am someone they look up to. So I definitely don't want to have that like snappiness, like, kids who may want like expectations of when we're going to do this, you said this. And it's just like, I have a lot on my plate, and mind you, still having responsibilities. I've learned to understand that God is providing for me, and he's actually making a way out of this. Like, again, kids like to eat. I don't cook. No, I can cook, but I don't know. So he's making a way for me to have breakfast, lunch, and dinner, like all that taken care of, snacks in between. So I don't have to hear the kids say, I'm hungry. And I'm like, well, I don't have time to cook or anything like that. So that's taken care of. So God is like literally just making a way. So So how am I dealing with it? Is relying on the Lord. There are moments where my body and my mind are not aligned. So my body is burning. When I say burned out, like it is where I just don't want to do anything. I was like, if I had a choice, I would just lay in bed all day. But my mind's like, no, you have things to do. So that's one of the things. Like, it doesn't align. And God also is teaching me why he has a Sabbath, a day where you rest. Like, I did not have that. And now he's teaching me to create boundaries, like literally sticking up for myself and be like, hey, I can't do that. Or can we switch this on this day? Like, I normally would just try to get everything done. So I don't have that, like, oh, I have to get something done. So this burnout is also teaching me to create boundaries so that I can recover, that I can recharge. And one of the things is having a set day for myself. And what that looks like, I don't know, because I'm so used to doing things for people and always having something to do, because I feel like that's me being productive and doing something with my life. But God is teaching me to rest. And again, I truly didn't know what that looked like or I'm still learning what that is for me, because I am that person who resting is still doing something. So this burnout is, God is using it. What the devil meant for bad, God is using for his glory. He's teaching me, like, hey, daughter, you're going to have to create these boundaries. Come to me. Trust in me. Ask for strength each day, literally. So yeah, that is how I'm dealing with the burnout. I will keep you updated if anything changes, and hopefully when everything gets all better, I'll be able to tell this full story of the extra burden. They're not burdens, but the extra responsibility that was been placed on my plate that I cannot remove. I will tell you more about how that came to be. So until next time, you have a blessed one. Bye.